Oh, it's going well. Staying busy, work, kids, thinking about golf
When's the official? Hello, is this Justin Tompkins, JT himself?
in the flesh.
Oh, happy Tuesday, my man. How we doing out there in good old DFW?
Oh, it's going well. Staying busy, work, kids, thinking about golf.
When's the official cutoff of like I don't give two F's about work anymore, and it's just wheels up on RHC and golf in itself?
I'd say it's like July 2nd. So yeah, it's already come and gone. Now I'm just prepping.
Dude, we only have, let's see, two more empty Mondays until it's RHC week. So we are here. Super excited about obviously the field and having everybody together. Selfishly, I'm even more excited the fact that I haven't been to a Valor RHC since 2023, where way back when you were an ambassador. So
Yeah, that's right.
obviously excited to have you in the field. Not to pump up your head or anything like that, but anytime we have a new ad, you're kind of our poster child. You bring good play, you bring good vibes. You drink more beer than you drink water, which you might need to fix that given the fact that we're seeing a couple of triple digit heat waves coming. But yeah, obviously excited to have you in for the long haul and you buy in, which I love. So
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
water is just real quick. Water is like percent of what makes up beer. So like I think I'm hydrating, but I'm hydrating in my own way. So just
Uh
clarify.
you are one of one, Jay Tizzle. Well, excited to have you on the segment. We got a chance to listen to Team West captain Matt Langhoff a little bit, so excited to have you on the air. RHC Radio coming to you live, sponsored by TPG Golf, who you were actually fit for once upon a time for a driver. I think that's the last time I saw. What was it? 130 club head speed.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, again, excited to have you. Got a couple of zingers for you as we kind of go through the segment. Would love to hear way more from you than me, so I'll shut up. First question I have, obviously, off season, both loss and acquisition. The losing or the loss, if you will, of team captain Todd Hensley. How does that affect the dynamics of Team Texas under new leadership with Stuart Person? Tell me a little bit about that dynamic through the offseason and going into the year.
Yeah, I mean, so here, Todd sitting out after round five on the tailgate drinking beers, and Todd had what he had said before, which is, "This is my last one, guys." And we tried to talk him out of it, and I think he was, getting ready to have his second kiddo, and thought that the time was final. So he made the decision in the really the early fall of last year to hang him up, and we're certainly going to miss Todd's energy, leadership, but Stu stepped in without question, and handled all the responsibilities of the team captain, really well. And then we added Brody. Brody was an ad early last fall as well, so we kind of got straight to it, and so it's a lot of time to spend in the chats, and preparing for this year and how we wanted to approach the matchups, and the pairings. And then Brody, obviously, being having the hookup with hats and gear, like we're excited to have him on the team. He's a super energy, definitely a big vibes guy, and he plays some pretty good golf. So looking forward to seeing what the new addition can do to scoring.
There's a reason they call him BG Vibin. Obviously, he's He's rode some highs and rode some lows over the last couple of RHCs, but I feel like now he's molded to y'all's team from what I can see. I know he's pretty close with one Heath Johnson, and the dude can get along with anybody. And I love how he brings more energy to the chat as well as pick some fights as well to just kind of get the fire rolling a little bit. So yeah, I think that's a good take on your team and where you guys are headed. Now 2023, like I'd mentioned, you were an ambassador. You got to see outsider looking in regarding the tournament, how everything operates. 2024, obviously we do Pine Dunes 10 versus 10. You weren't necessarily in that, but last year, 2025 was your first RHC. What did you learn from it, and how are you going to take that and bring your team to the promised land in 2026?
Yeah, I'd say you know, I was unprepared at how nervous I was going to be on that first tee shot. I will say that. So I've been playing that one over in my head quite a bit, trying to get comfortable with what I'm trying to do. Um, Another thing I would say is definitely bring a backup driver. I learned that last year the hard way, as before round four, snapped my driver on the range and had to play with Joe Woods' backup mini driver for a round, and thankfully he was there and available to share that with me. And um, so I think always have a plan B is something I learned. Um, and I think for this year, it's really going to be a lot of the same as last year. Keep the ball in play. Um, is there for scoring. If you can get hot with the putter, you can shoot a low number. And I think, from what I've seen online and stories from folks who have played it, here recently, course is in really good shape. So
Hmm.
I'm looking forward to the challenge of being back out there and seeing how that grain treats me.
She's so fickle. I've spent probably 13 years going there, and I learn something new. It feels like every time I go. The big things that I always come back with are stay under the hole. Anything over the green, over the hole is typically in a tough spot just due to how they're pitched and the grain. So yeah, it's crazy. You got to stay in play. Obviously, short game has to be good. But more times than not, especially there, the slippery 2 to 4 footers, you can't sleep on them. The green takes over, and you just got to be decisive with how you're going to be putting. So I think that's a good take on that. Let's talk a little bit about your performance last year in some of these holes. I've got some good, some bad, some ugly. Let's start with the bad just to get him out of the way. Hole two kind of ate your lunch a little bit, ranked 15th. In fact, hole one that you were just talking about kind of ate your lunch too. You were ranked 16th and 15th in the first two holes. So is your strategy going to change at all in terms of getting to a better start? Are you going to get more aggressive, less aggressive, aka more conservative? Tell me a little bit your thoughts kind of getting into a round.
Yeah, I think probably a couple more beers to start the morning before I tee off, settle the nerves a bit. So that's something I'll do different.
That's a common practice.
But really, yeah, but really, it's more about making better swings. The strategy wasn't where I went wrong last year. It was the execution. The first two holes, one is a tight fairway. Um, it can get you in trouble pretty quick if you make a bad swing, which is what I tended to do. And then two is really, it's a benign little hole that can eat your lunch on the green. The green complex is difficult, so keeping it in the fairway is super important. I didn't do that all that well last year. Um, Got a little pull happy with a 6 iron and hit it up in the rough and put myself in some bad positions to get on the green in two, which is really what you have to do. So it's keeping it in play, and I think this year I'll get off to better starts than I have in last year's rounds for sure.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, I've seen you go low out there before. It's just time to pull a Dylan Dawsey and put it together during the tournament round, which I have no doubts that you're going to be doing. So yeah, those are kind of some of the blemishes that I saw. We had talked about previously hole 18, averaging bogey, but it just sounds like it was one bad mishap, which being a drawer of the golf ball with you and myself, that tee shot actually looks really inviting. I don't have any issues with that.
Mhm.
I'm sure you don't either, but any issues there, or you just chalk it up to one bad round, one bad hole?
Yeah, it was a tee ball that I hit up on top of the hill under the tree.
Hmm.
Didn't really draw for me. And then from there, instead of you know taking my medicine and hitting one down in the fairway, flipping a wedge in, and at worst making a bogey, I tried to get cute and cut a long iron into that green, or a longer iron into that green, and hit it dead straight in the water. Chipped it over the green, really made a mess of it. Thankfully, everybody was standing there, so they got to watch. But yeah, it's not a difficult hole if you get it in play off the tee box, and I do like to draw the ball, so I don't anticipate having the same kind of mental breakdown that I had last year that caused that triple.
Boy, and I would probably categorize you as one of the mentally strongest individuals that probably give you and Messick the nod in terms of the two strongest mental players. So it's nice to see you be a little bit human. Now let's talk about the good real quick before we dive into another segment. Some of the good here: 5, 6, 7. You've played that at ranked fourth, first, and second. So you tore those up as well as tore up 12 and then hole 14 as well. So let's start with let's start with hole 6. If you could tell me how to play that golf hole, I will listen. Because
Yeah,
I get to the top of the swing and I never know if I want to draw the ball, cut the ball, or do whatever. So I end up in the shit 9 times out of 10. But
yeah. I
please
mean,
lay out the
yeah,
map for me.
yeah. To me, it's trusting the driver's going to do what it usually does. Lay it up over the top of the kind of the corner, right there over that tree, and just try and bust one. I think it's a good risk reward hole. If you're gonna pull driver, you're gonna have you know a flip wedge into the green, which leaves you an opportunity to score. Last year, I hit the driver well, before I broke it, and gave myself some opportunities early in the week. So I think take driver over the corner,
Yeah,
flip a wedge in, make a putt.
seems easy in theory. Um,
It does.
yeah, I'll try that for sure.
Yeah.
Obviously, you tore up hole 14, averaging under par there. That one's probably pretty self-explanatory with busting a driver and using your sweet little short game to knock one close and put one in. That's pretty accurate, huh?
Yeah.
I'm assuming you don't lay up or back off on that hole.
Oh no, it's driver every day, all day.
Full send.
Um, Yeah, you played enough rounds with me. You know that I hit driver when every time I should, and a lot of times I shouldn't. So if I've got an opportunity, I'm going to swing it. That hole sets up really nice for me. Started down the middle of the fairway, play a little draw, get it up close to the green. You know, with the amount of grass on the course right now, they're going to be good lies. Flip one up there and hope to make you putt.
You're a dog. I like that approach. Shifting gears a little bit, I wanna ask about Calcutta. I had asked Langhoff, what he should go for, and I know it's kind of a weird question because you never know what the pot's gonna be. First call out before I ask you how much you think you should go for is, do you know how much you threw out there in Calcutta last year? Take a guess.
Um, I bet it was somewhere in the 800 range, 600, 800, somewhere in there.
Close. $970.
Okay. Yeah. Um,
970. So your pockets are deep, my guy. I love it.
I
Um,
made more than I'd spent,
well,
by the way.
I mean that's kind of the blueprint, is it not?
That's what you should do. Well, actually, everyone else shouldn't. That's what I should do. Y'all feel free to lose if you want.
Yeah, yeah. So, obviously you're a team first guy because you had bought Stu for 650, Heath Johnson for 300, and Todd for 20. So very much a team player here. And those are the only three guys that you bought. So, yeah. All love with going for your team. Is it going to be the same type of strategy? Are you going to be going into it bowling a pot, or are you going to be a little bit more picky with who you decide to throw some money at?
Yeah, I mean, just having another year of information under my belt gives me an advantage. So I think, yeah, there'll be a little, there's not going to be any more selectivity, but I think there'll be some money thrown around at guys that I didn't throw around money at last year,
Hmm.
based off of knowing their game, knowing how they play Valor, and kind of how they're trending,
Yeah.
this summer. So
It is all about peaking at the right time. You could play good golf for an entire year and then show up late July and just be on the moon and not be in a great spot. So
yep.
it's all about having your ear to the ground with who's trending. So good call out there. Um, Got a last question regarding Calcutta. What do you think you go for? What are you in flight? You're in flight two, right?
I am in flight too. Um, yeah, I'd probably go for the 100, 150 range.
Mm,
Um,
I'll
so,
I'll buy that any day of the week. So
well, I mean, you don't want to. I don't necessarily want to go for so high because I'm going to buy me. So
facts. Well,
I've got to keep the pot kind of low. But no, it's good. I would love to see it go higher because the more I go for, the more the guys around me go for, the higher the pot, higher the payout. So
okay. Well, perfect. Um, some other fun things that we put on the table last year, literally, was the Roque food. All I keep on hearing is this guy knows how to cook. Did you have a favorite meal from last year? We haven't seen the menu yet, so I don't necessarily know what's going to be coming out. But what's your take on getting off the course, having a meal or premier meal right in front of you when you get done? Is that a nice little bow on the RHC aspect of
yeah,
it? Tell me all that dynamic there.
yeah, no, it was fantastic. Roka did a great job with all the food. I don't know if I had a favorite because every meal had its had aspects that were fantastic. I did like the atmosphere it built. Roke's got all the stuff set up in kind of one room. Everybody's there. Everybody's eating, joking, laughing, talking about all their missed opportunities on the course. So I think that dynamic was really cool. I will say it'll be nice if the room that I'm staying in is not the room that Roque, locates himself in, because um, there's a lot of activity constantly, and Roque, he snores like a bear. I don't know if anybody knows that, but you will if you stay with him. Promise you that.
You hear that RHC radio? Bears. Now the whole station's in jeopardy. Um, Well, kind of leaving you with this in terms of, the record book. We've got a lot of really cool things, information that we've captured, data that we've gathered over the last some odd years. Um, your name is a part of some record books. Two Man Total was one of them. Now, obviously, we've only done that for 2 years in 2024 and 2025, and we're moving back to NASCAR. And then you're also a part of the two-man scramble record at 60. Uh, some people might know this, but last year you and Heath were rolling, absolutely rolling, and decided to bogey number 15, which is maybe unpopular, but you did turn it around the very next hole and make an eagle. So, that's pretty good. But 12 under, does that get beat this year? And is it by you all or is it by somebody else?
Um, yeah, it gets beaten this year. I know that we plan to beat it, um, but I think there are a couple other teams out there that can beat it as well. So I'm looking forward to getting into the 50s
Whew.
in the scramble round. I think it's out there for folks, and the field has continued to uh, not only get not only get better as far as additions to new guys that are sticks, but also getting better themselves. So I
Yeah.
think there's some really good players out there, and I think the 60 number goes down this year.
Yeah. Last question I got for you. One other change that we made to 2026 RHC is splitting up the tee times for round 5, the 1v1. This was to create a little bit more hype in the morning rounds. The top 8 guys get to drive around, watch their teammates play, and then vice versa. When they're done, they could grab a beer and go watch the top 8 later that afternoon battle it out. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Tell me a little about, it's a 7:30 tee time for the bottom, was it bottom 12, and then for the top 8 it's an 11:30 tee time. And something to add here is the 7:30, 7:40, 7:50 are actually shotgun starts, so we're not starting at 1, because we have to be a part of a somewhat tournament. So what's your take there? You think it's going to be fun, interesting, exciting, or not a fan?
I think it's going to be great. I think the camaraderie of RHC is what brings folks back. The golf is fun, but we all get along. We all enjoy each other's company and competing. So I think it gives kind of a new life to that aspect of RHC. Sitting around 18 and watching groups come in, doing a little faux commentating is always a lot of fun. So I think that brings that to a full 18 holes. So I think it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, I would agree. Last take before I get you going. Who wins this year?
And it's going to be it's going to be really tight. I think this year we have realistically um, maybe every team has a shot, but at least 3 teams have a shot. Um, it's it's going to come down to who has the best day on that singles round. Um, and traditionally North has done really well in singles play. But I think we're going to have as strong a team as anybody out there from top to bottom.
I would
So
agree.
if I'm going to if I'm going to make a prediction, I'm gonna go with the hometown team.
I totally fair there. I would mark y'all's catalyst as Mr. Heath Johnson as soon as he gets those greens figured out, which I think he could do this year. Um, you guys will be a force to be reckoned with for sure. So you guys have a lot of guys in the top, probably 6 or 7, much like Team West and Langhoff called out yesterday. So this is an exciting time for sure. But JT, I appreciate you being on the air today, my man. Let's get out for some golf before we are together late July, and have a great rest of your week, my man.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, Logan.
You bet. See you, bro.
All right, bye.